This just in. If you have spent any time watching massive entertainment conglomerates over the last century, you know there is one thing that they love more than beloved childhood memories, overpriced theme park churros, or talking mice. And that thing, my friends, is an ironclad, aggressively litigious, multi-decade monopoly on copyright law. Disney will famously spend millions of dollars in legal fees to sue a daycare center for painting a mildly accurate picture of Donald Duck on a wall, which makes their latest corporate maneuver not just tragic, but a masterclass in self-inflicted hypocrisy. According to a bombshell report from The Guardian, new Disney CEO Josh D'Amaro recently issued an internal memo announcing the elimination of roughly 1,000 roles across the company. The most jaw-dropping casualty of this corporate bloodbath was Marvel Studios' visual development team. The brilliant Academy Award-winning crew of concept artists and character designers responsible for the entire visual identity of the multi-billion-dollar Marvel Cinematic Universe. While Disney executives hid behind corporate doublespeak about creating a technologically enabled workforce, Marvel actor Evangeline Lilly openly blasted the cuts, directly accusing the studio of replacing flesh and blood creators with artificial intelligence. As a StoryBrand certified guide, I am constantly shouting from the rooftops that your brand's only real weapon in a digital landscape drowning in fake automated AI slop is your undeniable humanity. If a mega corporation like Disney is willing to sacrifice the very human souls that made their intellectual property famous, what chance do you think your business has if you try to take the same algorithmic shortcuts? So let's tear into the staggering irony of Disney's multi-billion-dollar tech flip-flop, unpack the massive legal trap they are walking into with the US Copyright Office, and look at how you can use authentic human authority to completely outshine competitors who are currently firing their best assets. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Vicky Sidler, a StoryBrand certified guide and duct tape marketing strategist from the Strategic Marketing Tribe. And I help small business owners like you build failure-proof marketing by focusing on the exact 20% of efforts that drives 80% of the results. All so that your marketing stops feeling like a miserable second job you never asked for. But let's be honest, if your business relies on generic robotic messaging, your customers will completely tune you out. You must establish secure, undeniable human authority. So download my 5-minute marketing fix to craft a powerful StoryBrand one-liner that standardizes your brand message, giving you a scalable, repeatable way to earn trust without relying on embarrassing AI slop. Okay, now with all of that out of the way, how can you sue AI companies while handing over your own keys? The most ridiculous part of this entire corporate drama is that Disney is currently trying to play both the noble victim and the greedy beneficiary of the AI gold rush at the exact same time. In mid-2025, Disney and Universal proudly marched into court to slap Midjourney with a massive lawsuit, calling the image generator a bottomless pit of plagiarism, and demanding $150,000 per infringed work. They spent the rest of the year firing off angry cease and desist letters to Google, Meta, and Character AI, with their chief legal officer boldly declaring to the world that piracy is piracy, and the fact that it's done by an AI company does not make it any less infringing. They positioned themselves as the great defenders of intellectual property, standing tall against the digital thieves. And then, just months later, Disney quietly turned around and signed a massive $1 billion equity deal with OpenAI. Under this partnership, they handed over 200 plus of their most sacred Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars characters to be pumped directly into OpenAI's Sora video generator. CNN described this move bluntly as a hedge on the future of AI slop. Disney realized the AI monster was coming for their characters anyway. So instead of fighting for human artistry, they decided to take $1 billion to let a robot do it under a controlled license. But why is firing artists actually a catastrophic legal mistake for Disney? The real punchline to this entire tech hangover is that by replacing artists with software, Disney is accidentally dismantling its own legal superpower. According to the definitive ruling by the US Copyright Office, alongside the Supreme Court's refusal to hear the trademark Taylor versus Vidal case, the law is completely unambiguous. Purely AI-generated work carries exactly 0% copyright protection. A computer scientist cannot copyright art generated autonomously by a machine, and neither can a multi-billion-dollar studio. While a prompter gets absolutely nothing, only a human who substantially shapes, selects, and modifies creative output can claim legal ownership. This means Disney can absolutely use AI to spit out cheap, automated concept art and storyboards to save a few bucks on payroll. But they cannot legally protect the final results. For a company that famously lobbied Congress to fundamentally rewrite American copyright laws just to keep Mickey Mouse out of the public domain, this is an existential nightmare. The fired human artists weren't just creating content. Their human authorship was the exact legal glue that made Disney's multi-billion-dollar IP legally unassailable. And what happens to a brand when it swaps human soul for software? Because when you strip away the high-end legal drama, what you are left with is a business that is actively choosing to make its products cheaper, faster, and fundamentally weaker. Corporate executives love to talk about leveraging technology to fundamentally alter how work is accomplished, which is just a fancy way of saying they want the financial benefits of automation without the drop in quality. But as Disney is about to find out, when you replace an Academy Award-winning visual development team with a skeleton crew of contractors hired to edit algorithmic outputs, the soul of your brand evaporates. Your content becomes generic, your stories become predictable, and your audience begins to feel an underlying sense of corporate cynicism. The internet is already completely drowning in automated synthetic garbage, and consumers are developing a highly sensitive radar for it. When a brand stops sounding like an empathetic human guide and starts sounding like a data scraping corporate chatbot, trust is the very first thing to die. Disney is betting it can manage the legal and creative trade-off of using weaker AI-assisted content. But they are leaving a massive, doors wide open opportunity for smaller, nimbler businesses. But now, how do you outmaneuver competitors who are flooding the markets with slop? While the giant corporations of the world are busy firing their creative staff, cluttering their workflows with Disney GPT tools, and leaking their own brand equity, you can completely steal their market share. The ultimate strategic advantage in today's economy is absolute clarity and undeniable humanity. When every other business in your industry is using a chatbot to lazily generate their marketing emails, website copy, and social media posts, the absolute most disruptive thing your business can do is sound like a real, competent, empathetic human being. You do not need a billion-dollar insurance policy with OpenAI. You just need a clear human message that instantly connects with your customers' deep frustration. You cannot let your brand equity drown in this automated corporate slop. You need a structural foundation to clearly communicate your value to a skeptical world. So get my 5-minute marketing fix. This rapid diagnostic tool uses your actual human brain to craft a crystal clear story brand one-liner. It gives you a standardized, reliable framework to establish genuine authority, proving to your customers that you aren't just another lazy corporation pushing AI slop, but a fiercely human guide who actually has a plan to solve their problem. Please stop publishing automated garbage. Download the fix now. You can get it for free in the description below, or you can go to strategicmarketingtribe.com/fix. But what about you? What is the most ridiculous or hypothetical shortcuts you've seen a company take with AI? I'll go first. I had a prospective client approach me after firing their entire content team to use a free AI marketing suite, only to realize the tool had generated plagiarized, uncopyrightable material that put their entire trademark at risk. They had to pay double to have humans salvage the wreckage. Okay, your turn. What's the worst you've seen? Let me know in the comments. And if you liked this video, you might like this one too. It's about why the internet is drowning in AI slop and how to keep your brand clean. And this is one that YouTube thinks you might like. So check it out and see if the algorithm is right. That's it from me. I'm Vicky Sidler from the Strategic Marketing Tribe, and I post helpful news updates for small businesses every day.